Hi guys, and welcome to Hollywood. Welcome to the top of a beautiful mountain. The observatory is just there and LA is down below with a lot of fog or smog, and it's pretty cool. So many people are walking past and it's a beautiful day to share a great story with you, true story, of a beautiful man who used to be one of the heads of Schwarzkopf, which was a hair product company many years ago. I'm not sure if it's still going or not, but I used to be a hairdresser, a long time ago. I used to have my own hairdressing salon called The Edge for many years, so that was one of the products we used to use. Anyway, it was lovely meeting this gentleman. He was from Germany, and he had his own place in the mountains of Andalusia. And I remember being called because he had some issues. The house that he owned was a very prestigious, huge house, but he was having some problems in his life, and he wasn't really sure of what was going on, but he knew that within him there was something not quite right. This story is regarding Moldavite as well, so I think you might be interested in this story. Now, first of all, I want to point out something that's really important. Over the decade and a half I've been working with clients every day, you've got to understand that this kind of story I'm sharing with you is very rare. I mean, for it to happen to you is like winning the lottery. So bear that in mind. Don't be freaked out and worried and scared, because it's very rare. So anyway, the story goes that I go to this beautiful house and I meet this very tall gentleman, strong and powerful. I would definitely say he wasn't a true believer in the spiritual psychic experience, but there was within him maybe, I don't know the word, openness, maybe a possibility that there is something in this field of work, but there was one thing he was sure about: he wasn't feeling good and there was something wrong with him. That's what he told me. So I remember the day I was there, and I got my healing bed out and he laid down on the healing bed. I put my nice music on, and funnily enough I had a piece of Moldavite in my pocket at that time. So as I started the healing work, I took the Moldavite out of my pocket and laid it, I recall, on his chest. And I could feel as my hands were on top of the Moldavite, one was on top of the Moldavite, working with the energy of the Moldavite and working with the energy around me, and one on top of his head. After 15, 20, 25 minutes, I could see he was extremely uncomfortable. Something was starting to happen. I had no idea what, but I knew there was something happening because of his actions and the way the energy in the room was starting to become extremely hot. My indication of a hot room is the presence of energy, and that energy must either come from you or from spirit. So I know something's happening. All of a sudden he starts breathing very heavily, and I could feel his pain in his chest. But what I noticed when my hands were there, and I wouldn't move my hands, and one of the things I did remember saying is, I will not leave you. I will not remove my hands till the energy is cleared and gone. I think I was speaking to the spirit that was within him. Now, here's the thing. I started, without even realizing, speaking to the spirit which was trapped in between two worlds, which belonged to this house. As I was doing this, from nowhere I felt a surge of energy, and I basically was thrown across the room. Now when I say thrown, it was like somebody had just gone like that. So I felt myself throw back. I studied myself back up again without falling, and then I walked straight back and placed my hands on there, and I repeated the words again. My hands will stay where they are. No darkness can kill the light. The light will always overshadow the darkness. And I was using these words all the time, not exactly knowing what was going on, but I knew something was happening on a very profound, deep level. To me, when anything happens like that, you would think, oh my God, what did you think? What did you feel? I tell you this, I didn't feel anything. I wasn't worried, wasn't frightened. I took it all in my stride like I knew what I was doing. So what that means is you are being helped, and you are channeling pure love of spirit, helping you clear whatever needs to be cleared. That's what a healing session is. So as I'm going on, I could feel his body, and I could feel his emotions becoming heightened, more stronger, more sensitive. And I kept repeating the words and saying how beautiful this is, how healing this is. This is going to be very shortly, this will all be cleared and gone. And after 1 hour, I think 1 hour and 15, 20 minutes, everything stopped, everything disappeared. All my feelings went, all his pain went, and he went into a deep sleep. I stayed for maybe another 10 or 15 minutes with my hands there, and I rang a little bell, took the Moldavite off, put it in my pocket and woke him up. I smiled, a big smile, we gave each other a hug. Now here's the interesting part. I had no knowledge why I was there, because I don't ask questions. That's one of the things I always insisted, never wanted to know, because that would then throw me off or make me think of things which I didn't want to do. But when we sat down to eat with his wife, and his stepdaughter came, and then a friend of theirs came. Now here's the interesting thing. When we all sat down to eat, this friend who came and sat down, the first thing she said when she sat down, she turned and went, "Oh my God, you look different." And he went, "I feel different. Whatever it is, it's gone." Some months went by. I got the message, not because of him telling me, it's because he did a TV interview, a documentary, and he wanted to share the story about what he found out was in this house that he bought was a monk that was still in this house as a spirit trapped in between two worlds. And what he explained, which was very fascinating to me, because I had no clue what it was. I only knew that there was a presence and I needed to clear it. And what was fascinating was he did some research on the house, and sure enough, within that house there was a monk that resigned in that house for many hundreds of years. And he explained to people that what he realized after that, this monk had basically started to enter into him and take over him and try and change his energy. Now, this is a very, very rare occurrence, and it sometimes does happen in houses, and I tell people this isn't evil, this is merely spirit trapped in between two worlds. And it's hard for some people to understand and digest that, but when we move into the light, there are certain things that happen that either help us step fully into the light, or we reject the light because of how we behaved, what we want to finish off in this world. So for instance, imagine you were moving into the light and your daughter was by your side crying, and all of a sudden you are now in that position to step into the light or to reject it because you feel as if you want to stay here and look after your daughter until she's well and happy. There are many different ways and many different reasons why we don't step back into the light. And you would think this is rubbish. Of course you would go into the light. But imagine you're about to open the door, and through that door you're going to meet everybody who's going to know everything about you. Would you step into that door if you've done some terrible things in your life, if you've killed somebody, if you've abused somebody? It's going to be difficult, because you know that when you open that door, that judgment of yourself is going to be so powerful that you think that when you open that door, it's all going to be hurtful and it's going to cause you pain and suffering, so you don't step into that light. Some people won't because of that. And I believe that monk did that. Now I want to clarify something else. What my understanding is of spirit and the light is that once you've stepped into that light, there is no judgment. And you don't truly judge yourself in that respect. As I say, you do judge yourself, but not in a harsh manner. You will ask yourself what you did and how now did I improve? Did I conquer those challenges, or do I need to come back to learn this again and go through this very same thing? Once we move into the light, there is no judgment, there is no harsh punishment, there is no sending you to hell. It is merely this planet that we live on is a very special and sacred planet that is here to help our spirit world learn how to feel, learn how to react in a physical manner, in a earthly manner, to be able to experience all the feelings that we go through, whether they're good, bad, happy, sad, hurtful, really bad things, but we have to experience them to grow in a spiritual level even higher. So you imagine the spirit world is pure and love. It wants to come and experience something here that it's never experienced before. So that's my take because of the many years of listening to the whispers of spirit. You may think this is a load of rubbish, and you know what, 38, if you'd have said to me this 14 years ago, 15 years ago, I thought you were mad. But you know what, it's your take. If you feel that what I'm saying feels like I'm speaking my truth, then maybe you should set off on your journey to try and communicate with the spirit world through meditation, through your own healing process, or maybe you even want to become a healer and learn what all this other world is. It is a beautiful world, and I would suggest that to end, every single child in the world should practice meditation and learn how to connect to their higher self, because it's not about connecting to the spirit world as such. Because I often say to people, if you're trying to connect to the spirit world every day, what's the point of being here? You might as well stay at home, which is our spirit world. What I mean is to connect to your higher self, to understand who you are, why you're here, and what life is all about. And that's what I've done for 14 years. And I hope some of these 500 videos have helped you a little bit to be able to capture glimpses of what I've learned and what I'm sharing with you, that you think, you know what, maybe I'll try that, maybe I'll try this. And I do it in a non-forceful manner. So to end on a lovely note, I hope you enjoyed today's beautiful true story about one special piece of glass, which is a lovely crystal called Moldavite, which I work with daily, and I have seen miracles with it. I think to finish off on the Moldavite and how that made a difference, I believe when a Moldavite is placed onto you, it has an ability to blast your energy. And if there is anything negative in there, whether that may be spirit trapped in between two worlds, which is very rare, whether it's negative energy, whether it's sadness, fear, whether it's anger, whatever your feelings are that hold you back from reaching a beautiful awareness of your life and who you are and where you're going, I believe Moldavite is the most powerful crystal in the world. Whether you're wearing one now and you don't feel anything, hey, I'm wearing one now, I don't feel anything, but that doesn't mean it's not doing its work. And for all of you guys who've worn one and said I can't possibly wear it again because it's too much, it made me feel sick, I had headaches, I would say, you know what, that was such a healing moment for you, and I hope one day you can put it back on and finish that healing process off, so then you can feel as beautiful and healthy and happy as I do each day. So let's hold a glass up to Moldavite and say thank you for being here. And just to finish off, I'm halfway through the final edit of The Power of Moldavite, the new book that's coming out, and that, my dear friends, was one of the stories I've just shared with you in that book of many true beautiful stories about the power of Moldavite. So from a beautiful LA, have a great day guys, from my heart to yours, and hopefully tomorrow I'll share another beautiful story with you, or a crystal. Take care, and thank you for going to markbayeski.com last night and purchasing your beautiful, true and pure and genuine Moldavites that I've worked with for many years. I hope you enjoy them as much as I did working with them. Take care, guys. Bye.